So we're getting ready to move ahead now, and we are so excited about this next segment. And help me welcome the Vice Chair of Consumer and Business Banking for U.S. Bank, Mr. Tim Welsh. I guess he's coming on pretty soon. And then the CEO and country head of Santander U.S., Mr. Tim Wennes, and the founder and CEO of Operation Hope, Mr. John Hope Bryant.
I'm here. Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Now, wait a minute. Y'all been locked inside for 18 months. We pull off an impossible conference to get you actually next to somebody, sorta. I tickle with the little dots. One dot is hug me. One dot is elbow me. The next dot is stay as far away from me as you can. But the thoughtfulness that my team put into making sure that you were safe, but also had an engaged experience, is pretty incredible. And I want to commend them and commend you all for showing up. It's a great day. We're meeting the moment, yes, but it's the redawning of America. And I keep saying we're sitting in a moment in history, but history does not feel historic when you're sitting in it. It just feels like another day. But that doesn't mean the moment you're in is not historic. If you were here last night, it's pretty magical. Ambassador Young and Chris Tucker closed it out. It was hilarious. You should go back and watch it on stream. But this ballroom you're in now was the same ballroom that Dr. King and Ambassador Andrew Young and other civil rights leaders met for the last time, talking about the Poor People's Campaign in 1967 before Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. This was the last time he met with anybody to strategize. And this is, if you've seen the movie Respect with Aretha Franklin singing, this is where she came to sing. This very historic hotel and a very historic ballroom, and we're honored to have this conversation today, hopefully respectfully continuing that great work. I want to acknowledge my mother, who's in the audience, who's 87 years young, Miss Juanita Smith. And you bankers will appreciate this. Last night, spontaneously, in honor of her education of me of the life of seniors, we had 3 pitch contestants, and the person who was number 3, winner or runner-up, had I thought she was at the wrong event because she was asking for $250,000, and we were raising $10,000. And so I was trying to tell her, like, wrong event. And she had this, was anybody here last night? Okay, so for those who weren't here, she had this medical device that she had created, and it zips down, and the front folds forward. And this is live streaming to the world, and she zips it and folds it forward, and I'm just like, ah! I just hope it works. It worked. But we, on a serious note, Hope Ventures spontaneously committed $50,000 to seed fund that venture. And while we were sitting there last night, another $50,000 was committed from different folks to get us to $100,000. I'm told this morning some other folks have committed funds, and it's just really beautiful that she's got this patented product. And we're all leaning in to make free enterprise work for all, social justice through an economic lens. And I want to make one correction. I heard that Tim Welsh so this is the CEO of Santander Bank, which is the largest bank in Spain, one of the largest banks in the world, one of the top 25?
Maybe, yeah, 18.
Top 18 in the world, run by a female CEO globally, Ana Botín, who's a friend out of Spain, and Tim Wennes, who is a longtime friend, is CEO of Santander, United States, or North America, sorry. And Tim Welsh, who was unfortunately described as the vice president of U.S. Bank, is really vice chairman of U.S. Bank, and I guarantee you there's a difference. The vice president is the person you see at the bank, at the branch, who says, "I'm sorry, I can't approve your loan." Tim Welsh is in charge of. This is important for us to understand this language, by the way, right? We're bilingual in civil rights. We're bilingual in social justice. Somebody talks about police brutality. We know exactly what you're talking about. We understand all the stuff in community. We have to understand banking, finance, money. There's a huge difference between a vice president and a vice chairman. Vice chairman is right below the chairman, runs a huge, typically, portfolio of the bank. These two have something in common. They're both consumer banking experts. And so Tim Welsh, who's also the lead director on our Hope Global Board of Advisors, is vice chairman and head of consumer banking. Did I get that right?
Consumer and business banking.
Yep. Yeah. Consumer. Why are you talking so low today?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever we talk privately, you like a civil rights leader. Now you're getting all coy. Now I'm going to get this wrong. Is it the 5th largest bank in America?
We are, yes.
Oh, boom.
Exactly right.
U.S. Bank, which just acquired, is it public information?
It is, yes.
They just acquired another bank in California, well, out of California, Union Bank, which is part of Bank of Mitsubishi.
Exactly right.
So you surprised I knew that this much, did you?
No, I'm not surprised in the slightest that you knew all that.
So these are both my friends. As I said last night, I don't put my arms around anybody who I don't think has a decent reputation and a good heart. I've stayed at your house, and I'm going to stay at yours.
Exactly right.
Except in the winter. Your house is too cold in the winter.
You're welcome in the winter.
No, black people don't like cold weather. I'm not coming there anymore. You know exactly how to disencourage me. Tell me to come to Minneapolis in December. No, I'm good. Let's get serious. Well, I guess I should get serious. You were already serious. About the state of the world. Both of you have come to me in different ways on your own and said we need to do something. I had to check both of your temperatures. It was in the middle of a health pandemic, the largest since the Spanish flu, in the middle of the worst crisis of unemployment since the Great Depression, in the middle of a crisis of our democracy where Americans were attacking our capital. We haven't had that happen since 1812 when the British attacked our capital, in the middle of the largest, well, a 400-year delayed social justice reckoning on Black America. And in separate conversations, and I don't know if you actually have met before today.
It was our first time, actually.
First time meeting today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In separate conversations, you both have had similar discussions with me, which is, I actually for a moment thought you both were black because you were like, we need to do something. I'm like, calm down. Why do you care so much? These were private conversations between you and me. You backed it up with action, which I want you to talk about. And there's no order here, but why did you care so much? Why is this in your bones? You're not black, you're not minority, best I can tell. We need to get your DNA test. It might reveal something special because you are cool guys. Tim, you first. Tim and Tim, so Tim Welsh.
Which Tim? Good morning, everyone, and it's great to be here. And I was reflecting on my way down the elevator today that I was here in 2012, the first Global Hope Summit here in Atlanta out at the Convention Center. And
the airport, yep.
And we've had so many here as well. So it's great to be here back in person and to see so many people. And I think now also with the pandemic, this live streaming thing, which was interesting before, is now primary, and it's great that we can do a hybrid event here. But John, for me, the pandemic upended the lives for everybody. Right? Nobody was immune.
Yeah.
And what I saw was we had to think differently in terms of that there was no more baseline, not for our employees, not for our customers, and not for our communities. There was no safe haven from the virus, right? Oh, well, it's okay in this city versus this city. And it caused me as a CEO to think, how do we protect the health and safety of our employees? How do we take care of our clients? We have a huge book of business in the auto space. We had a high percentage of people who weren't able to make their payments, right? With unemployment spiking to 14%. We had people in real need, and it caused us to have to say, we need to do things different, we need to do them better. And we need to think differently about our relationship with employees and our relationship with our clients. And you know, I'll wait, or unless you want me to talk now about some of the things that we've started to implement. But very clearly it was some of the paradigms and the practices that we had, we knew we needed to change.
You've also diversified your management team. Translation, you put black folks and dark folks and women on your management team, which I was very impressed with. And you did that without talking to me or anybody else, you just did it. You also said, and I'm not gonna let people get too far in your business, but how do I say this? You're one of the largest auto loan lenders in the world by virtue of being one of the largest in America. I think you're the largest in your category, in a certain category. And you didn't want to be known as just an auto lender that was sort of less than prime, good credit rate risk, but less than prime. You wanted people to be able to sort of move up the economic scale, and you wanted to actually charge them less interest, which seems like I should check your temperature or something. You wanted to charge them less money. Can you want to explain that real quickly?
Look, we are a full spectrum auto lender, so we make loans to customers with pristine or super prime credit, and we also do loans to people who have no credit or who've had a problem with their credit in the past. And
which used to be me.
Which used to be you. As we think about this going forward, how can we be a full spectrum auto lender and help all those constituents? And the best way, at the end of the day, in the banking business and financial services, right, it's about how do we help people prosper and thrive? How do we help people achieve their objective or their dream? We don't provide, no one wakes up and says, I want a mortgage loan or I want a car loan. I need transportation to work.
Yep.
I need a home. I want to finance an education for my child.
Yep.
And when we do our job well, we're helping people achieve those dreams and to prosper and thrive. And at the end of the day, how can we help people who've had a difficult past, maybe with credit? How do we help them on that ladder or on that journey to a better financial future? And so some of the other things that we've done, we've put embedded very prominently on our website and even on our mobile banking app. We have an area called Prosper and Thrive where we're putting content for clients to say, how can you help finance an education? How can you protect yourself from cyber issues? How can I lower my payments? Trying to find things that are relevant to help our clients improve their financial situation, and how can we reward them when they do a good job? The other key element we found was with our employees. So we have employees who are dealing with customers. We had more employees dealing with customers who had hardships than we'd ever seen before. And we also said, you know, many of our own employees were having difficulty because they had their own hardships. Their spouse lost their job and was unemployed, et cetera. So that's where we partnered with you, and we did a Hope Inside for our employees.
Yeah, Hope Inside the Workplace.
Hope Inside the Workplace. In our auto business, we have 5,000 employees. This is voluntary, not mandatory. We started offering workshops, money management, financial literacy, financial empowerment, and one-on-one coaching. 3,500 of 5,000 employees in the first year have gone through one of those programs.
And in the first month, yes. Now so look, I need you to understand what's happening here. You've got a banker, a bank CEO, acknowledging that his own employees need financial coaching, not the customers, not the community. I mean, it's quite a measure of transparency for a banker to say, we have challenges too, and to do something about it. And in the first month, Lance Triggs told me you had 2,500 employees who signed up for financial coaching with us, which is also a measure of their own desire for dignity and well-being. So I want to thank you for doing that and for being the kind of leader that we want to see in the world, Tim. You're a good man, Tim Wennes.
Thank you, John. You have a great example here, and a great partner. You've been a great friend for a long time.
Thank you so much. And Tim Welsh is possibly one of the most radical conservative people I've ever met. Conservative and sedate and measured, but radical in the sense that he really gets more frustrated about social injustice than me. I've got to calm him down. Something happens on TV or in the world, and I'm talking to him, and I've got to like, hey, man, you need some tea, not coffee. Like, he is, what in you, Tim, causes you to care so much, and then you move on it, like you and Reba, right, who is of color, by the way, who you've hired. You've also embedded people of color and women in your management team. You and Reba have moved on this with like a venture fund and all kind of innovative initiatives. You're also doing Hope Inside.
Yep.
Okay, so where's it come from?
So, you know, John, first of all, thank you for this conference, and thank you for being the inspiration to all of us that you are, because I call you up with my passion because I know you're deeply passionate about this as well. And look, I joined U.S. Bank, and I wake up every morning like thousands of my colleagues do with one goal. I'm investing my heart and mind to power human potential. I want, just like Tim said, families to live the lives they want to live, and I want businesses to prosper. It's the only reason I'm there. And by the way, it doesn't say, you know, it says human potential of everyone. It doesn't say white people or black people, everyone.
Right.
I live, as you know, 5 miles from where George Floyd was murdered.
Yep.
When that happened,
yep.
I was so upset. I'm not sure I've ever been so upset.
Oh, yeah,
I called you and we talked about it. I had a call with 1,000 people that I have every Friday with my team, the Friday after that he was murdered on that Monday. And I told you, I lost it. There I am, 1,000 people. I just can't get through my thoughts. Because what happened, whatever you thought about what you had been doing in Minneapolis or in any community, you knew it was not enough, right? It was not enough to bridge the racial wealth gap and to create a society where every single person can thrive. And we had to do more, and I and you and countless of my friends felt the same way. And so we acted. You know, Tim's done some very inspiring things that he's just described. A couple of examples, you know that at U.S. Bank, we're with our Project Access that Greg Cunningham is leading. It's about homes, getting people in homes, small businesses. And then we took the radical step that I talked to you about, which is we said, look, we have a lot of banks in Minneapolis. Most of them are run by people who look like me. And guess what? Many people in the black community, they don't trust those kind of banks. And so you know what we're going to do? We're going to get 5 banks together, and we're going to bring a black bank to Minneapolis, right? And First Independence Bank, Kenneth Kelly, is a remarkable leader. And, you know, we're getting him branch. We're providing capital. We helped him hire somebody, right? Because if we're really committed to creating the society we all want, where wealth is equally distributed among everybody, then we need financial institutions that can be there to support that. And the black bank is trusted by many. So, you know, John, we have a long way to go, as you know better than any of us. We got a financial literacy, 1 million black businesses, the things that you are so inspired in sponsoring. But it is deep in the soul of me and countless colleagues, and I know across the industry, who feel that this is our moment, and we must meet it, as you've talked about with this conference. And thank you for being the inspiration to help bring that out among so many of us.
Both of you have this sense of decency about you. Let me make it clear. I've met people who are indecent. Let me make it clear. It's not like I'm some Pollyannic and everybody I meet is just warm and fuzzy. No, I've met some really unpleasant people. I just don't give them any energy or oxygen. But when I meet people who have this special gift and also have the power and the wealth and the opportunity and the access, and then you use that power as a force for good, I'm literally stunned. Like, I've been at this for almost 30 years, and I'm still stunned. I'm sitting here stunned. Like, there's no reason for you guys to be here. They flew in just for this. 90% of our speakers just said, I'm going to be there. Dan Schulman came in last night, flew in, flew right back out, just for this. Why do you care so much? And what's your message for leaders like you who say, well, I can't do well and do good too? The cost of doing good, I'll do that, you know, in my philanthropy, which I don't agree with. But somehow there's this concept that these two things are actually disconnected. Do you agree or disagree with that? And what is your business plan? Either one.
Yeah, I don't think they're disconnected, and I think you've got multiple examples, primary examples where you can do both, right? You can do good and you can do well. And I think as I see this, at the end of the day, banking is an essential service, and there's some bad press since the financial crisis about, quote, banking or bankers. But 99% of the bankers that I know are in the business are providing financial services because they want to help and serve people, right? At the end of the day, they want to help businesses grow, right? It gets back to that, how do we help individuals and businesses prosper and thrive? And the only way you can do that is with relationships and with our people, right? How do you make a difference for those people, right? And provide the products and services that are really going to make a difference. And at the end of the day, financial literacy, without financial literacy, it's hard to have financial empowerment. I'd say financial literacy combined with inclusion can create financial empowerment for all. And what we have the issue today is too many people don't feel included, and they aren't financially literate. And so one of the things, and this is why I've been on your board for 10 years, is how do we make progress in that area? How do we get, I still think everyone who graduates high school should have part of that diploma is there's some financial literacy course that they've taken.
That's right.
We've got all these students who aspire to higher education who take out tens of thousands of dollars of student loans that don't have all the understanding of what are the implications of those student loans for the rest of their life, and how are they making the financial decisions some of these people are making now at 18, 19, 20 years old have ramifications for the rest of their life. And so there's things we can do as an industry, but there's things that we need to do as society and community, and that's part of why I'm on your board and been on it for 10 years. It's part of why Santander signed up in the Financial Literacy for All program as a longer-term commitment over the next 10 years to see how can we be a part of that and make this a better place, a more inclusive place, a more prosperous place for all.
Yeah, they're both signature members of Financial Literacy for All, which is our new movement. And one of these things he said is, and we're going to end with you, Welsh. One thing is that Tim Wennes said, is relationship. And I'm going to put the word capital at the end of it. Relationship capital. And what he's doing here, and hopefully what you're doing here, is expanding and deepening your relationship capital. Folks who you call who know who you are. Where you have a rapport and a relationship and hopefully trust, where you can actually get beyond the protocols and the policies and start dealing with prosperity and opportunity. That's what happens when you have relationships. So I think it's smart of you you're saying if you deepen your relationship and you broaden it to all kinds of people, you can do business with all kinds of people, which is, I think, positively selfish. Welsh?
I would just add, so I think that's really well said, and I particularly like your points about financial literacy for all. It couldn't be more important. That's why we're signed up, and John, it's such an important initiative. But this notion that you started with, that somehow we live life sequentially, we do things for a while in business and then we do some good, I don't think that's right. I think I only got one life. And I think I'm here to do as much good, and I think we're all here to do as much good in the service of other people as we possibly can. And I think, as Tim has highlighted, we happen to be in a position where we are absolutely crucial to the lives of our consumers and small businesses. They cannot do anything they want to do. Those families and those businesses can't do anything without financial resources, and that's banking, right? And so thank goodness that I and Tim and others work in places where we realize that we are here to serve others and do good for others. And I feel like we've got an enormous opportunity to help be part of the solution to creating the more just society, the kind of society that you describe and that all of us want to have. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm not going to wait until some other future point in my life to do that.
Doesn't it make you feel proud? I've got to wrap, because whenever we go over, it's all my fault. And we are over, but this is not happening anywhere else in the world. This conversation right here, there's 8 billion people in the world, 220 plus countries. Think about this. This conversation with leaders of major, this is not like the Homeboy Shopping Network. That's funny. These are large household name companies, and this is the leadership telling you, Black, brown, underserved, women, expanding the table and adding a chair, to quote Stephanie Rule, is important for business and society. This is the world we want to create.